I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Harakak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, GMS, that rule well, and peace and salutations to the elect pushing this truth to the four corners of the earth. All right, waking up the rest of the elect, which we believe are already sealed. All right. Um, okay. So Yahweh Shai can redeem his elect men. All right, and the elect lady on out of this wicked world, this wicked kingdom, ruled by the so-called white man, which is the Satan that the Bible speaks of, Esau, Edom. Okay, the border. Okay. All right. This is a part two. This is a part two to my last lesson. I'm doing it in the form of a pre-camp live lesson. I'm gonna go out there solo today. All right, for an hour, at least an hour. Okay. What was I gonna say? But yeah, my last lesson was, the first, about the Austin, Texas, T attack by a Muslim, Iranian, Senegalese, naturalized black man citizen. All right, and we all know. All right, that's some fucking sketchy ass shit. We all know that's, fabricated and set up. All right, in a FALSEFLAG. Okay, a blank flag, F flag. Okay, to incite. All right, and make the black man the face of TERROR. Okay, because the white man Esau Edom wants to go after the American, black, Latino, Native American man. Okay, when we're innocent. All right, for the most part. All right, the scriptures say he's gonna he doth persecute the innocent, roughly paraphrasing. And this devil, the so-called white man, has done nothing but persecute. All right, the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans throughout history. All right, all of fucking history, man. All right, come after us. All right, we're not fucking Muslim. Yes, there's black Muslims, but us men of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, us Israelites. All right, we're not fucking Muslim, man. Okay, we don't incite TERROR. We don't incite violence. We don't preach violence. Okay. Yes, yes, in the kingdom, when the Lord returns, there will be violence. Okay, righteous violence. But right now, all right, all we're doing is preaching the word of God, the word of Yahweh Shai, preaching the words of the Bible, and that's it. We're not fighting nobody. We're not laying our hands on nobody. We're not pulling up with guns. I don't even have a gun. Life, and it was that thing didn't even have no recoil to it, and I was just shooting one time. All right. Okay. We're not violent men. Okay. We can be if you push us to a corner. All right. Just like you're doing to the Iranians. All right. They're acting like wild boars. All right. And this is what happens to a wild animal when you push them to a corner. All right. They start attacking you and biting your ass. All right. And that's what they're gonna do, man. They're gonna start biting America. They're already biting America. All right. Just they haven't reached the soils of. All right. They're just U.S. military bases are over there. Okay. And they're hitting EU allies. All right. Which is gonna piss off the 10 horns, and the 10 horns are gonna start hating America, or the horde, like the scriptures say they would. Okay. But back on top of of course, that T attack in Austin, Texas, was a Muslim black guy. All right, and the thing is, the Senegalese people, the people of Senegal, yeah, they're mostly Muslim, all right, and black, but they're different. They're a different Muslim type of people than the Iranians. I believe the Iranians are Sunni, all right, and the Senegalese people are Shia Muslims. All right, they're both Muslims. All right, but one is Sunni, one is Shia, and they hate each other to death. All right, they be cutting each other's heads off, shooting each other, executing each other. I've seen it before. So but he had a hoodie on that said property of Allah and all black, you know, all black, and then under a shirt was an Iranian flag. But Iranians hate those types of Muslims. All right, those are two different types of Muslims, man. All right, so that's how we know, all right, that it's set up. And then the timing of it, of course, it happens right now, you know, which it happened a couple of days ago, but of course it goes on right now, man. All right? And of course he's a black man, you know, because like I keep saying, like us men of Yahweh Shem Yahshai keep saying, the white man, all right, the elites want to make the black man, the Latino and Native American man, the face of terror, all right, and they have to do it by setting up false FLAG events, okay, all right, because hey, we're innocent people. All we do is go to work, come back home, and take care of our family, man, for the most part. Yes, some of us are well, really, the thugs and the gangsters and the cartel people, all right, of Israel, of the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, most of the criminals, like 99% of the criminals of the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans is because of the wickedness and the go, dude, what the fuck, the philosophies and the ways of the white man ruling the world and pushing that on our people. Okay, there wasn't no fucking cartels, all right, before the white man colonized us blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, there wasn't no gangs, all right. Yeah, our people was doing, you know, the Aztecs, or was it the Mayans? You know, they were doing sacrifices on their own people, but they weren't invading other people's lands like this white man does. He literally goes across the whole fucking Atlantic Ocean, okay, and does the worst atrocities known to mankind of all fucking time, to, you know, to us Israelites, the apple of the Lord's eye, man, you know, the Lord's chosen people. And he's still doing that same shit to this day, you know. But the scriptures say, you know, they're gonna send us up to the synagogues, all right, and the courthouses, and persecute us for the Lord's namesake, all right, and say all manners of evil against us falsely, all right, falsely, because we're not no teists, man, all right. We're not bombing stuff up. We're not shooting stuff up. We're not fighting people, man. And I'm specifically talking about the prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahshai, the men of Yahweh Shem Yahshai doing this work, all right, because that's who they really want, all right, the Lord's elect. Because hey, these elites of Esau, these elites of the so-called white man, they know about the elect, the elect of Yahweh Shem Yahshai. They know us, you know, us men of Yahweh Shem Yahshai, all right. They know the Bible, okay, but we're innocent, but they want to criminalize us. They want to persecute us, but they can't. All right, so they have to do it falsely, okay? That's why they're setting up these, you know, these T attacks, all right? They're fabricating, you know, T attacks and trying to make the black man, they're trying to link us up to Muslim theists, all right? When we're, first off, not Muslim, nor are we terrorists. And really, the real terrorist of the whole world is the so-called white man, all right? You know, all the atrocities and wickedness and mass unalivings and torture, all right, and evil that this man, the so-called white man, has done upon all people, even his own people, you know, he's the real terrorist, all right. But the scriptures say, you know, you know, they're not going to hold themselves, they shall not hold themselves guilty, all right, they're on trial, all right, you know, Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, you know, are being questioned and whatnot, all right. And you think there's going to be arrests? No arrests have happened, all right, concerning the Epstein files. Why do you think that? Because those people that are releasing the Epstein files and questioning those people that are in the Epstein files, all right, those are the same fucking people, man, all right, okay? They're not going to jail them. They're not going to arrest them, all right? But they are continuously arresting, all right, and persecuting, all right, and you know everybody else, all right, the black man, the Latino, Native American man, even these other heathens, okay. But the real fucking wicked people, the real criminals, the real terrorist people on earth is the elites of the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. All right, these white people in high positions on earth, in America, in these countries. Okay, they're doing the real wickedness. All right, raping little children. All right, extracting adrena, shiny metal. All right, extracting blood. Okay, from these children. Okay. And now this information's coming out, and now you people believe it. But hey, us men of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, the prophets of GMS, hey, we've been telling you this information for decades. The apostles since the late 80s. Okay? They've been telling you about this. All right? But you don't want to fucking believe it. Now you want to believe it because it's the white man's telling you. It's coming out of the horse's mouth. But you don't want to believe the prophets of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. You people are ignorant. You people, I'm talking about the ignorant, the wicked 2/3 of you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans of Israel. Okay. All right. You literally fit the description of you ignorant, stiff-necked, hard-headed. All right. People. All right. All right. Sodist children. Okay. Give me a second. I gotta grab something. I'll be right back. Slovakia. Nobody's watching. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I hit all the points really. But yeah, I'm just roughly paraphrasing precepts. Thinking out loud, spiritual ranting. Before I get to get to camp. Not really camp. I'm just going out there to prophesy for an hour. But us men of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, the Lord has made us, all right, to stand upon our watch, all right, being vigilant and sober, all right, in these times, okay. Therefore, thanks to the will and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, all right, because we're staying upon our watch, we're staying in the spirit, okay, watching these things, man, all right, questioning everything, we're not taking it anything. We're not being ignorant to anything small or great or small, all right. And everybody, not just us men of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, but everybody else in the world is catching on to the ways of this effing devil, man. All right. Okay. He runs the same play every time, and that's the characteristic of a white boy. If you ever played video games with the white boy or played games with the white boy, all right, they only play, they only run a few plays, man. All right, but they still beat your ass, you know, because they're really good at those few plays, you know. All right, 1 or 2 plays. All right, they run the same shit, you know. I used to, when I was a kid, you know, I played on a all-white football team, you know, and they used that, they ran that wishbone package offense, and it's the same offense. They run the same 3 fucking plays, okay, maybe 4, okay, right down the middle, or a sweep to the outside, or a little bit, you know, off tackle, you know, and they may run a pass play, and that's fucking it. That's all, you know. They may change up who they give the ball to, or fake it to this guy, but really give it to that guy. But it's all the same fucking play, really, man. You know, and we notice. I mean, us men of Yahweh Shem Shai, you know, since we watch this devil, we're not ignorant, okay, to Satan's devices, and we're staying upon our watch, okay, staying in the spirit, being sober and vigilant in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai. Since we're doing so, all right, we know Esau's plays, his game plan, okay. It's cause and solution. He causes his own chaos. All right, he systematically makes his own chaos. All right, or controlled opposition, and he brings his own planned solution to the chaos that he, you know, caused anyway, man. All right. So basically, hey, you know, if you want to believe it or not, all right, because we're spiritual men, we're not carnal men, all right. If you want to believe it or not, all right, that T attack in Austin, Texas, okay, that just happened a couple days ago, you know, that was set up. If you want to believe it or not, that's all we're saying, man. All right, it's set up. All right, why? To lead to the persecution of us men of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, okay. All right, because hey, these Americans, you know, are ignorant as fuck, you know. All right, and that they believe in whoever, you know, they believe in whatever the news says, whatever the white man says, okay. And if the white man points a finger at whoever, you know, oh, we gotta attack them. Oh, whatever the white man says, okay, we gotta do what he says. All right, it says on the news that, all right, those Hebrew Israelites are criminals and theists, domestic theists. Okay, so let's go find them and get them and you know, and call the cops on them and whatnot. All right, the white man says they're rapists. The white man says they're violent people. They're violent extremists. We don't do none of that, man. You know, and those are all lies anyway, man. You know, who's the real rapist? Who's the real violent person on earth? It's the same men, the same people that are blaming us for those same actions. All right, and we keep telling you and showing you the facts and the truth about this fucking devil, okay? And y'all don't want to believe it. Now y'all want to believe it because it's actually, he's admitting it, all right? It's coming out of the horse's mouth, okay, of what they're doing. Because who's the ones that released the Epstein files? Did any regular, everyday black, Latino, or Native American man release the Epstein files? No. We told you about them. We told you the truth about them before they were even released. But the white man himself released the Epstein files. The higher-ups of the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, released the Epstein files. Now y'all want to believe it, okay? Y'all don't want to believe us men of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and that's fine, okay? Because that's going to be to your destruction, all right? All right, all us men, the prophets of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, are to do is to warn you, all right? If you hear or forbear, if you want to listen and repent and get right, awesome. If you don't want to hear and listen and get right, that's awesome too. All right, cool. Go fuck off. Go die. Go burn in a nuclear in the lake of fire, which is going to be America being destroyed by 200 million nuclear missiles, man. Go ahead. Be my fucking guest, man. You know, I'll see you in the kingdom. You know, in your right mind. Okay, and we're gonna drink wine. All right, we're gonna party, you know, in righteousness, and live it up forever in our in immortal bodies. You know, I'm talking to Jake. You know, But right now, hey, the scriptures say to seek out your own salvation with fear and trembling. All right. You can't have another man, save you. The works of another man save you. All right. Not even your own works could save you. It's all in the will and predestination and of election from Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay. But hey, we've been warning you, man. All right, we've been telling you. All right, but hey, you people, you wicked Israelites, won't listen, and you don't want to repent. We're still out there on the highways and byways, week in and week out, telling you, warning you, prophesying to you of the things that are happening today and that will come. Okay, out of the words of the Bible, not our own words. Okay, and that comes all from Yahweh Shema Shai. This is not of our own will. Okay, so I'm gonna end it off right there. I hope this was edifying to the elect. Shalom.